So we'll start off with the prayer. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desadarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gauravakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam pamurlangaithe girimirkripatmaham vande Shri Gurum Deenadarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanyeshwaram Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna. So let's begin with a short recap of the previous weeks and also
Namaste, Guruji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. And also we will have a look at what is the connecting point of discussion between this class to today's class. So we saw how in this material world, when we take birth, a place where it is meant to be temporary and a place filled with challenges and sufferings. So we want to be happy, but unfortunately, happiness is not going to be there in this material world. At least we may have a glimpse of happiness, but not permanent happiness. Because that is the very nature of this material world. We are searching happiness in the wrong place. Even in this material world, we could regain our happiness once we connect back with the Supreme Lord. And that is possible when we have our identity understood properly. All our identity is that we are not this body, but rather we are spirit soul. The nature of spirit soul is to be happy, and that happiness comes when the spirit soul is engaged in the transcendental service of the Supreme Lord. So yesterday we saw various aspects of the spirit soul. What is the proof that the spirit soul exists, and where is the spirit soul located? We saw how it is located within the core of the heart. What is the nature of soul? And is it temporary or permanent? Is it destructible? So various properties of the spirit soul as well that we saw yesterday. The measurement of the spirit soul, it is 1 by 10,000th part of tip of the hair. It is not that only human beings have soul. All living entities, including plants and animals, everyone has spirit soul. So we saw various verses from the Bhagavad Gita on what the Supreme Lord is mentioning about, saying how just like how a child grows to become a youth and then achieves old age and finally dies. So similarly, at the point of death, the spirit soul is going to traverse from this body to another body. So that is what we call as reincarnation. Right? So different aspects which we saw. So today is going to be more on the reasons why a living entity enjoy or suffer. So we saw how the material world or material nature is meant to be giving us suffering, but we see sometimes that good people is suffering, whereas bad people or people with bad intentions, they seem to have very good life. Right? So what is the real reason behind all this? That is going to be the point of discussion for today. Before we proceed, any specific question that any of you have?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Just a small query, Prabhuji.
Yes.
When a person is unconscious due to illness or something, what happens to the soul? Does the soul leave the body or what?
No, not necessary. Soul is going to be with the body.
Oh.
Just that probably his brain is not functioning, because of which he is unconscious, but that doesn't mean the soul is not present.
Or a person is in coma also, so
Right.
the soul is there. When the soul leaves, then only it becomes a body, isn't it?
No. Yeah. So soul is not going to go anywhere until the person dies.
Oh. That is the brain, death of the brain and the heart stop functioning, isn't it?
Right. Just like how in the plants, plants have life, but then consciousness level is quite low. Even if you are going to cut a tree or a plant, it is not going to have any pain of any sort, right? Similarly, a person in coma, the consciousness level goes quite down. So that is the only reason, but the spirit soul is very much there.
Oh, thank you, Prabhuji. Very good.
Thank you. So let's begin with today's session. Today's session is going to be quite lengthy. There are a lot of points to be discussed. Let me share my screen. Screen visible?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thanks.
Okay, so as always, our prayers to Shri Radha Krishna. Let's loudly chant. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Shri Radha Krishna ki jai. Why do bad things happen to good people? As I was mentioning a while back, the topic for today. So the first question that comes to our mind is it because of the intervention of God? Is he responsible? Is he so impartial that he is not going to uh, he's not going to be showing any partiality to a living entity? So these sort of questions come to our mind because we find that to our tiny little brain, we may think that a person is quite good, he's well behaved, he's having all good qualities, but still he seems to be suffering. Why is God not intervening in this case? Yesterday, one Mataji was asking this question. So I know that something is wrong, but can I intervene and correct that situation? Right? We cannot do that because we only have very limited understanding of the situation. We don't know the person's past life, past millions of life, what that person did, and what kind of karma person accumulated. So we don't know all that. So that's why we cannot be intervening in any of the activities that is happening around us. So the question comes to us as to whether Supreme Lord is responsible for all the sufferings. So the Supreme Lord is like a judge, actually. We find that some people are quite rich, some are born poor, some have a beautifully strong body, others are suffering. They don't even have their daily meal, right? Especially we find people in Africa, African countries, how pathetic they live, the pathetic state of affairs that they live, right? And there are the others who are born quite fair, having all kinds of beauty. There are others who are quite unfair as well. So basically, they are quite dark and they are ugly. So is it because of God's partiality that He is favoring certain set of people and is showing partiality to them? Is it so? What do you think? Is it because God is partial?
No,
because
Prabhuji.
past
No,
karma.
Prabhuji.
Karma.
So we will look into it in detail, right? So it's all because of our karma. So then one may think, okay, God is not merciful at all. How can He let people suffer like this? As a matter of fact, Supreme Lord has nothing to do with individuals' past reactions. It is all because of our own activities that we are put into happiness and suffering. So we see so many people are suffering around us. So is it because God is so unmerciful? So Krishna personally he is saying in Bhagavad Gita 9th chapter, 29th verse. Samoham sarva bhuteshu name dveshyo sthina priyaha ye bhajanti tumam bhaktya mayi te teshu chapyaham. Can one of you read the translation?
Prabhuji, may I?
Yeah.
I envy no one, nor am I partial to anyone. I am equal to all. But whoever renders service unto me in devotion is a friend, is in me, and I am also a friend to him. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. He is saying Samoham. I am Sama, equal to everyone. I am not partial to anyone. But whoever is rendering service to me, I am also friend to him. So that is what Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, which means when a person is suffering or enjoying, the Supreme Lord has nothing to do with it. And the Supreme Lord's activity is that he is sitting in everyone's heart as Paramatma and he is just witnessing all our activities. Right? Just like how a judge is going to award to some people, he is going to put them in imprisonment. So his judgment is going to be that person has to serve in the prison. Whereas in other cases, he is going to reward compensation as well. Right? So he's undergone so much of pain, so you need to compensate him with so many crores of rupees. Right? So we have seen judgment like that as well. Why is he doing that way? So is he awarding different judgments because of his own partiality? Is that the reason? Not really. No. Right. So that's because it is all based on the activities of individuals. So the judge gives different punishments according to the law. So similarly, as it is often mentioned, as you sow, so shall you reap. So whatever an individual is undergoing in this material body, in this present life, it is all because of the seed sown in the past millions of lives. So then comes the question, what is the definition of law of karma? Activities performed by the soul in the material body, conditioned by the three modes of material nature, under the control and purview of time. So this is the exact definition of law of karma. So as individual soul, we all perform various activities. It could be pious activity or it could be sinful activity. Why we perform such activities? Because of the influence of the modes of nature. Yesterday I was briefly mentioning about 3 modes of nature. What are they? Can anybody say what are the 3 modes of nature?
Passion, ignorance, and
Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas.
Yeah, Sattva Guna,
Gunas.
Rajoguna, and
Sattva,
Tamo-
Rajo, and Tamas. Sorry.
Sattva, Rajoguna, and Tamoguna. So something which is in the mode of goodness, passion, or ignorance. So based on that influence, say when somebody is influenced by mode of goodness, he is going to be well behaved, he's going to be gentle, always peaceful, not having any hankering, he's contented. So all these are mode of goodness. Whereas others who want more money, who want to earn, who want to explore things, who want happiness, more happiness. So this is more of passion. On the other hand, we also find people who are in ignorance, which means they don't know whether it is night or day. They are always in an inebriated state, drinking like anything, not aware of what is happening around them. Right? So those people are people in the mode of ignorance. So each individual performs activities based on the influence of these modes. Right? So who is going to kill people? Somebody who is in the mode of ignorance, probably. Right? So he doesn't know what is good and what is bad. Right? So because of which we are actually performing activities, and for that activity we are going to reap the reaction. This is the law of karma. Now, how does the law of karma work? In what way is it going to act on each one of us? So that is the question in front of us. So for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. This is the famous law of Newton. Newton created this law. So basically, what it means, you perform some action and you are going to reap the reaction for it. Right? So just like how you take a ball, you throw it on the wall, and what's going to happen? The ball is going to come and hit you back. Right? So this is what is called the third law of Newton. So for every action, there is going to be a reaction. So the mills of God grind very slow, but exceedingly fine. So this is a statement from the Bible. So what do we mean exactly here? So one may be thinking that, okay, a person is seemingly quite good, but he is apparently undergoing a lot of problems, challenges. Whereas we also find people who have done so many sinful activities, but they seem to be flourishing, they seem to be enjoying like anything. How fair is it? So this could be a question in front of us. But make no mistake, when somebody does something wrong, maybe the rule of the land. So we are living in India. So we have our judicial system, we have our government, we have police. So they may go wrong or they may be right. But for sure, the Supreme Lord is going to take a note of each and every action of ours, and we are going to get the reaction. It may be slow. Say somebody is performing sinful activity, he may not get the reaction immediately, but for sure, whether in this lifetime or future lifetime, the person is going to reap the reaction for it. That is why it is said, the mills of God grind very slow, but exceedingly fine. So now some technicalities on karma. What are the different kinds of karma that we know? Right. So there are basically 3 kinds of karma, 3 types of karma. First one is called punya karma or good karma. So, or you can also call that as karma. In general, karma means good karma. What are the examples of good activities, good karma? Say somebody is doing lot of charity, somebody is helping orphanage, and then you actually give some food for the beggars, give some money for them. So all these are good karma, good activities. So what is the result of performing good karma? The result is that one may at the maximum get heavenly planet. You can get a ticket to go to heavenly planet. So is that a good proposition? Is it something which we can aspire to do?
No, Prabhuji.
No, we have to go back to Golaka.
We have
If we
to
go
back
to heavenly planet, we'll come back again.
Yeah, so we have to go back to Krishna's place, Vaikunta, because that is the place where there is no birth, death, old age, disease. Even if you go to heavenly planet, you are going to have birth and death for sure. Right? So we will learn all this when we come to Bhagavad Gita. But at the moment, you understand that even if somebody goes to heavenly planet, like Swargaloka or Maharloka or Brahmaloka, you go to any of these planets above, even there we are going to have birth and death. So it is not a good proposition to go to heavenly planet. Oftentimes, we all have this misconception. What is the goal of life after death? One may say, oh, Prabhu, as per Hindu law, Hindu systems, maximum we need to go to heavenly planet. Then our life will be happy. That is not the case. So if you keep doing good karma, you can go to heavenly planet, but again you may have to take birth in the next life. Right? So that is the effect of good karma. And what about sinful activities, bad karma? Somebody is drinking, somebody is killing animals. So definitely bad karma is going to yield us bad result. By the way, bad karma is called vikarma. Vikarma means that karma or that activity which is performed against the injunction of the scripture. So somebody is not following the Vedic scripture, the Manu Samhita, or all the other Upanishads and Puranas, which actually give us a lot of information about how somebody should lead his life. If someone is not following that and performing all kinds of illicit activities, bad activities, then he is going to get bad result for sure. Scripture also mentions about hellish planets. There are different types or grades of hellish planets. Based on the level of bad activity, an individual is going to be punished accordingly. Right? So these are all mentioned clearly in the Vedic scriptures. So this is called vikarma. And there is something which is above these two. That is what is called akarma. So karma means good activity, vikarma means bad activity, and akarma means neither good nor bad. How can something be neither good nor bad? One may ask that question. Right? So whenever we are engaging directly in the service of the Supreme Lord, such an activity is called akarma. It doesn't give you either pious result nor impious result. For example, when you are chanting the holy name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So this is neither pious nor impious. Rather, it is supreme pious. Or you can say it is called Shuddha Sattva. So such an activity is going to reward us with liberation from this material world. So we all don't want suffering. We all suffer here because this place is called Dukhalayam. If we want to get out of this place, get out of this Dukhalayam, go back to Krishna's abode, Vaikuntha, then that person need to keep performing a karma. So all his activities should be centered in serving and pleasing the Supreme Lord Krishna. That is why it is called neutral activity. Krishna in Bhagavad Gita is recommending Arjuna to perform akarma. Right? So three kinds of karma we saw. Karma means good activity, vikarma means bad activity, and akarma means neutral activity. So when does one get the result of karma? Say I perform a good activity or I perform a sinful activity. When am I supposed to get the result or the reaction for it? It could be different. One may get instant karma. Like for example, you put a debit card into the ATM, immediately you are going to get the cash. Yes. Whereas when you write a check, you will get the cash in your account, but it is only after a few days. Delayed karma. So sometimes we may get instant karma, other times we may get delayed karma. So it really depends on the level of sinful activity or pious activity that we perform. So we also find somebody is getting slapped, somebody is getting scolded, somebody is getting blasphemed. Why that happens? Because that is instant karma. Whereas in other cases, somebody may be chasing you to kill. You will be killed in future, but not immediately. So that is delayed karma. Typical example is that of Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra, as we all know, he was blind from the birth. The whole Mahabharata revolves around Dhritarashtra and his family. How his 100 sons got killed in the battle of Kurukshetra. Right? At the end of the battle, Dhritarashtra was actually asking a question to Supreme Lord Krishna. What was that question? The question was, why is it that I had to undergo this pain? I said, and
Thank you for reminding. Vechuko.
I have lost all my 100 sons. So why is it that I have to undergo such a pain? For which the Supreme Lord said, this is because 50 janmas before, you were actually a hunter. Dhritarashtra was a hunter and he went to hunt bird. So he was aiming at the bird, and as he released the arrow, the bird flew away. So the hunter was extremely unhappy. He wanted to take revenge on the bird. So what he did, immediately, that male bird, it had 100 small children, right? So what the hunter did, in great anger, he actually shot arrows and killed all the children of that male bird. So in front of the male bird's eyes, all its children got killed. Right? So this happened 50 janmas back, because of which Dhritarashtra had to bear the pain of losing all his 100 children. Now Dhritarashtra shot back a question to Krishna. Okay, Krishna, this happened 50 janmas back. Why is it that I am suffering now? Why not that you give the punishment at that janma itself, when I was born as the hunter? The hunter only did that injustice, right? So why are we giving that punishment now? So then, for which Krishna said, see, the punishment for that sinful activity is that you and your 100 children are going to be killed. right? So you will be blinded because your activity was not done with a proper attitude, right? So you are completely blinded. So that's why you had to be born as blind, and you should have 100 children who would be killed. So that is the correct punishment. But when somebody has to when somebody has to give birth to 100 children, it requires a lot of pious activities, right? We find that many people in this material world, they don't have children. They get married for many years, but they don't have any offspring. Why is it so? Because of some sinful activity which he or she had performed in the previous life, right? Whereas when somebody gets a children, it is actually a result of one's pious activity. Imagine how much pious activity one should do so that he gets 100 children. So Krishna said, it took you 50 lifetimes so that you could accumulate so much of pious activity. And at the end of 50th lifetime, you were actually benedicted with 100 sons. But unfortunately, your past sinful activity also came to hit you back. All your 100 sons got killed. Right? So this is delayed karma. From this, we can clearly understand how pious activity does not negate our sinful activity. Say somebody performs a lot of impious activities, kills animals, eats all those animals, uh, and then he drinks alcohol, he enjoys with women, right? But in spite of all that, he is also performing some charitable activities. He goes to orphanage and he gives money to them. He takes care of orphan children, all those things as well. Does it mean his pious activity is going to completely negate all his impious activity? No. He is going to enjoy for his pious activity. At the same time, he is going to suffer for his impious activity. That is what happened to Dhritarashtra. He enjoyed the pious credit by begetting 100 children. He had a very good life, enjoyed with those 100 children. Unfortunately, for his impious activity, all his 100 children had to be killed. So both those things will not cancel each other. So that is something which we need to understand. The concept of karma. Right? And on whom does it work? It works on individuals. We find that somebody goes in a two-wheeler or a car, gets hit by a lorry, and then he dies on the spot. That is because that individual had performed some bad karma in the past life or in the present life also, for which the person is undergoing the suffering. We also find that some aeroplanes crash, right? And all the people who were on board the aeroplane, probably 100 or 200 of them, everyone got killed. This is because at times karma works this way as well. You group all the people who have done bad activities, put them in one place and kill them. That is the result of all their past bad activities. This is called Ugra karma. Collective karma, you can say. So somebody may say, oh Prabhu, only when we read Bhagavad Gita or scriptures, I understand that there is something called karma. But otherwise, from my childhood, I am not taught about all these concepts. I am completely ignorant. So, does that mean that karma will still act? Definitely, it will act. Just like somebody is saying, he goes jumping the signal, traffic signal, and then the police catches you. When you say that, oh, I don't know that when it is red, I need to stop. I am never taught about this. Then do you think the police will spare you? Ignorance is not bliss. You cannot say I am ignorant, so why are you punishing me? So that is not a fair question. Your duty is to learn what is the law of the land. Similarly, when we are taking birth as a human being, we are supposed to be knowing or supposed to be aware what activity I should be performing and what activity I should not be performing. This is a duty of every human being, whether I am born in India, China, Japan, America, anywhere. Law of karma is common for everyone. So you cannot get excused when you say that I don't know that karma acts. Ignorance is not an excuse. And as I was mentioning a while back, 7 minus 4 mathematically is 3. Whereas in the concept of karma, 7 remains as it is and minus 4 remains as it is. Right? So if I have done 7 positive karmas, I'm going to get the benefit of it. If I have done 4 negative karmas or bad karmas, I am going to get the result for them. Right? So both these will not negate each other. So good and bad karma, they don't cancel each other. It is like sowing a seed. You sow a good seed, a good plant is going to come up. You sow a bad seed, a bad crop is going to come up. Right? So both these will not negate each other. So that is something which we need to be aware. Now, coming to this important question, why do bad things happen to good people? Right? So there is a explanation which we all will be able to easily understand. So this is something which we find even in India as well. You have a big cylindrical shaped storehouse where you put all the grains, right? So you sow the seed and then the crop comes up, you harvest the crop and then you put all the grain in the storage. So what happens in that storage, cylindrically shaped storage, there would be a tap at the bottom. So usually the tap will be at the top, right? So what happens? Maybe the recent crop may be a bad crop, but whatever we stored in that storage equipment or whatever you call, initially when you stored, it was all good crop. But the recent crop that you harvested, if in case if it is bad, then when you extract from the storage box, what is the probability that you are going to get bad crop as against good crop? We cannot say so because it all depends. So you will have a tap and whatever is closer to the tap, that would come out. There is a possibility that you actually stored all good crop initially. So obviously when you extract the crop, extract the grains from that cylinder, only good crop is going to come out. But definitely at one point of time, that bad crop, that bad grain would also come out. But it may take some time. Similarly, at the present moment, I may be doing all bad activities. Like you find all the politicians, they seem to be doing all malpractices. So they seem to be cheating all the people, enjoying their money, right? But if you look at their life, they are living in such a comfortable place with very nice family. They have no problems in life. They have enough money, right? So how is it fair? The thing is, they are enjoying the benefit of their past pious activity. But definitely their current sinful activity is going to go into their account. That bad crop is going into the cylinder. One day or other, it is going to come out. It may come out in this life or it may come in the upcoming life. We never know. So, the rule of the Supreme Lord is definitely 100% correct. Nobody can question. Just that we don't have a vision to see. We may think superficially that a person is good in the present life. Why is he suffering? Whereas a person is bad. Why is he enjoying? So this may be our limited perception, right? But the Supreme Lord knows what all activities the soul did in the past many lives. Our concept is only on the present body. We don't have the concept of soul at all. Right? So these are some of the aspects we need to be understanding. So next the question comes, what should we do? This karma concept seems to be quite complex. Krishna himself is telling in Bhagavad Gita that this concept of karma is quite intricate. So better you do akarma. You don't get involved in good karma or bad karma. It is going to completely bind you. Better you do Krishna conscious activity. You do akarma. So that is what Krishna is suggesting to Arjuna. So what is the suggestion for us? Basically, our human life is like a train junction. Right? So we may have traversed from destination X and we have come to the destination Y. Where we are going to go next is completely in our control, right? We don't have control over our past, but whatever activities that we do now, it is going to determine our future, right? So which train I am boarding, that is where I am going to end up next, right? Which means the past I may have done many sinful activity or pious activity. I am enjoying the result, or I was put into suffering in the present life. But whatever activities that I am going to do from now on, that will determine where I will end up next. Now that we all know the concept of karma, we know what is bad karma, what is good karma, what is the result of bad karma, what is the result of good karma, and there is something called akarma, which is neither good nor bad. That which we do, we are not going to get any good result or bad result. It is going to give us completely spiritual result. So we know all that. Now the ball is in our court. What is it that we want to do going forward? Am I going to continue whatever I was doing earlier? Maybe past pious or impious activities. Am I going to continue doing that? Or am I going to start doing Krishna conscious activity? So if you are a wise man, you would take a decision that I don't want either good result or bad result. I want completely spiritual result, which will only come when we start rendering service to the Supreme Lord Krishna. And the easiest process to perform akarma is to chant his holy name. By chanting his holy name, this holy name is not an ordinary mantra. This holy name is nothing but the Supreme Lord himself. There is no difference between the Lord and his name. So by chanting his holy name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, we neither get bad result nor get good result. Right? So that decision is in our hand right now. So that should be when somebody understands or studies Bhagavad Gita, it should be a turning point in our lives. Whatever we were doing before, it was all done in ignorance. We didn't have any scriptural knowledge. But now that we have the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, which is clearly saying, the Bhagavad Gita 3rd, 4th chapter, even 5th chapter, this concept of karma is completely given to all of us. Right? There is something called action in Krishna consciousness that is mentioned by the Supreme Lord in the 5th chapter. of Bhagavad Gita. What is it that you get by performing activities for the pleasure of Krishna? One point to note here, when Arjuna was hesitating to fight, Krishna mentioned that you have to fight this battle. Now, a question to you all, fighting in the battle and killing the opponents, Kauravas, is it a good karma or bad karma?
Akarma.
Why is it karma?
Bad karma.
Sorry?
No,
Akarma.
no,
Because
Prabhuji.
Somebody is saying
Prabhuji
bad
to say
karma.
good karma,
I want
because
one
he is a
answer.
Kshatriya.
One answer at a time.
Okay.
Yeah. Nandini Mataji, you say? You can say.
I said Akarma because Arjuna, on behalf of Krishna only they are fighting.
Okay. Excellent. What is Lakshmi Mataji's answer?
Uh,
Lakshmi Venkat.
Correct.
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. As it is the duty of the Kshatriya and Lord Krishna's advice, he does his duty for the sake of his duty. So it is not a this thing, vikarma.
Okay. What about the Kamala Raman Mataji?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, it is Akarma because he just follows Krishna's direction. He just obeys his order. So that's the rule of a devotee. So he surrenders completely. So he just listens to Krishna and he wants to please Krishna. So there's no whims and fancy here. He just wants to carry out the orders of Krishna.
Right.
So it is Akarma.
Right. Who said bad karma? Somebody in the call said bad karma. Right. So the answers given by Nandini Mataji, Lakshmi Mataji, as well as Kamala Raman Mataji. So all the answers are right. Because you are performing an activity to please Krishna, it may seemingly look like a sinful activity. Killing somebody is a sinful activity. But because you are doing it on the order of the Supreme Authority, Supreme Lord, it is no longer a bad karma. Rather, it becomes a karma. There is no positive or negative karma involved here. Right? So, that is what is Krishna's recommendation. You perform your activities with an intention to please me, please Krishna. When we keep doing that, then we don't get any result out of such activity. We are completely in a safe zone. Right? So it is like somebody is wearing a bulletproof, or somebody is traveling in a bulletproof car. Even if the enemy comes and hits you with 1,000 bullets, nothing is going to happen. Right? Because you are completely shielded. Similarly, I may be doing activity, but I am not going to incur any karma out of it. How? Because my activities are centered around Krishna, centered around the Supreme Lord. Right? And so life is a preparation and death is the examination. So basically, all our activities that we do, that would come to a culmination at the point of death, where we can decide where I want to go. If I end up doing a lot of pious activities, I would be going to the heavenly planets. If I end up doing a lot of sinful activities, I will suffer in hell and then go to a lower planet. But if I start doing akarma, sincerely practice Krishna consciousness, practice whatever is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, trying to please Krishna by all means, then I am going to transcend this repeated cycle of birth, death, old age, disease. This is called samsara chakra, the chakra of repeated birth, death, and old age and disease, which we all don't want. So if you want to surpass this material existence, our activities should be focused on Supreme Lord Krishna. Right? So with that, we will come to an end. I'm sure all of you may have a lot of questions to ask because this is an intriguing concept. So I'm sure there will be a lot of questions. I'm now open for taking questions one by one, please. Yes, Anila Mataji. It will be better if all of you can raise your hand so that I can invite you. Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Mataji, your voice is feeble. I cannot hear properly.
1 second, Prabhuji.
Yeah, now it is better. Yes, ma'am.
Now you hear me, Prabhuji?
Yes.
Like whatever karmas we have done, if we chant Krishna mantra, it will disappear, no? Or become less intense.
Right. So that's a good question. I will definitely answer the question. So this concept of which they have in Christianity, right? So basically, you do all sinful activities, and then on Sunday you come and in front of the Father you basically convey all the sinful activities that you did. Then you ask for pardon, right? So confession, that is what you say, and then it is believed that Jesus will take away all the sins and sinful reactions, and you would be relieved of your sinful reactions. So Jesus is quite merciful, right? He is a messenger of God. He is extremely merciful. He wouldn't mind taking all these sinful reactions. But the point is, the Supreme Lord is very merciful. He can definitely get rid of all our sinful reactions if we sincerely chant His holy name, if we sincerely follow His instructions. But as a follower or a believer in the Supreme Lord, we should not be committing sinful activities again. We should not be committing sinful activity on the strength of the holy name. Okay, anyhow, so holy name is so powerful. Bhagavan Nama is so powerful. It can remove all the sinful reactions. So let me, in parallel track, keep committing my own sinful activities. So if we do like that, then nothing will happen. I mean, holy name will not remove the sinful reactions. But if you sincerely repent for our past activities in a prayerful mode, when we chant the holy name, then definitely holy name, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, is so powerful that it can destroy all the sinful reactions. So this is mentioned in the scripture.
And they said chant with when it touches our hand, it changes our lines in the hand.
Sorry?
If we chant with a bead, Tulasi beads, Prabhuji.
The Tulasi bead?
If we chant with that, the lines on our palm
No, whether we chant in the Tulasi bead or in a counter or in normal bead, it doesn't matter actually. It all depends on with what mode and what intensity you are praying to Krishna when we are chanting. It depends on that. Of course, when we get surrendered to a spiritual master, we get lot of strength. So with that, we will be able to chant more. That is true. But whether somebody is chanting in his beads, normal beads or Tulasi beads, it doesn't really matter.
And one more thing I want to ask.
Sorry, again, your voice is not clear.
Or 1 second.
So, okay, Mataji, we'll come back to you. You can correct your sound system. Before that, I will take another question from Nandini Mataji, who has raised her hand. Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
You were saying that if we give charity to a person, it is a good karma. But suppose if that person utilize that money in a bad way, that bad karma will come to us also, right?
So you are giving some money to a person who utilizes it bad. Is that what you are saying? Yeah. So definitely that effect will come to us also. Because unknowingly or not verifying, we gave that money to a wrong person. So how the person utilizes that money, based on that we will also get karma, whether good or bad.
So better to avoid giving money.
Yes.
Okay.
We can always give food for them or something like that, clothes.
Kadam.
Prasad.
Yes.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Yes. Who is next? iPhone. Hand is raised.
Hare Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. May I know your name, Prabhu?
This Rajaya.
Okay.
My name is Rajaya Prabhuji.
Yeah.
So I want to know, while we are chanting Mahamantra, how to control our mind, not to have any thoughts, other thinkings. I was trying for the last so many days, months, but I am unable to control it. I'm chanting, but the mind is thinking something. 1 second I am bringing to this thing, and it is like this is happening. So how to control it? Will you help me, please?
Yeah, so there are multiple ways. You can chant along with devotees if possible, the association of devotees. It could be either online or offline. You can go to any ISKCON temple. Not sure where you are located. If you are located anywhere near ISKCON temple, you can try going there. And then you can chant in the association of devotees. You can try chanting early in the morning. Early in the morning, our mind is peaceful. It is in Sattva-guna. So relatively, it is going to be much more easier than when somebody is chanting during the day or during the night. So
Prabhuji,
you can also focus on any of the pictures of the Supreme Lord Krishna. So maybe Radha Krishna, photo framed picture of Radha Krishna from ISKCON Chennai or any deity for that matter. So you can focus on that form, then you can chant. So that way you can try to control your mind.
Prabhuji, the first two are not possible for me, as the question is there. First two
Sorry?
advice what given. First two advice what you have given is not possible as per my location. So, and early morning only maximum before 8 o'clock I am completing. Most of the times 6 to 7. Sometimes it is becoming 8 o'clock. I am not making it to stick to before 6. A little bit delayed is happening sometimes due to my office works and night delay like this. I'm trying, I'm feeling a lot not to have any thoughts, but it is happening.
It will come with practice. Don't worry. Keep praying to Krishna.
Yeah.
Definitely it will happen.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes, Anila Mataji.
Prabhuji, now I am doing 20 rounds. How can I increase, is it okay, or to get more conscious, we have to do more number of rounds?
No, you can, if possible, you can spend some time reading Prabhupada's books, Bhagavad Gita, or many of the small books of.
Bhagavatam we are reading every day in the class.
Okay. Yeah. So if you don't have any other active services, then yes, you can chant as long as possible. Not an issue. If you are able to do other services, you better do that.
Now, for me, reading is a problem. That is why I like to read, but I'm not able to read.
Right. Or you can keep hearing. All these Prabhupada books are available in the form of audio tapes also. You can keep hearing to them.
Okay, Prabhuji. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Everything is available
That small
in
books also
audio
are in
format.
records.
Everything is available in audio format.
Where do we get this
I can
guide,
start today.
puja
I can
guidance
start
for
today.
beginners?
Sorry?
Puja guide for beginners. To guide, do puja, conduct
Right.
puja,
So,
no?
yeah. So it is all available in ISKCON. Any ISKCON you go, you can get that book, Mataji.
Do
Beginner's
you know
Guide
any
to.
name?
So you can actually find this this Acharya's book. I think that should have some beginner's guide. Or in the Bhakti Vriksha manual, there is a guide as well available. Maybe
Oh,
if
thank
you
you.
share your email address, I can send that.
Okay, Prabhuji. Also.
Yeah.
In the application form, I have written my email address.
So if you can just WhatsApp me, that will be good. Because I don't have access to that application form. So this will be
Okay, Prabhuji.
coordinator.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Hare
Preeti Chawla.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Preeti Chawla.
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Hare
Can
Krishna.
you hear me?
Yes, I can hear.
Guruji, in Mahabharata, Arjuna was guided by Bhagwan himself. But in Kali Yuga, how will we know what is akarma? I mean, example, what is akarma? What are we supposed to do?
Right. That's a very good question. I really appreciate that. Very practical also, your question. Krishna is no longer with us now. So how do we know what akarma is? That is why we need, that is why we need a guiding force, what we call as a guru.
Okay.
A guru is a representative of Krishna, somebody who is following Krishna as it is. Like for example, Srila Prabhupada, he was a guru for his disciples. When he was present in this world, he gave all the instructions to them personally. What should be done, what should be not done, how you can perform akarma, whether you are a householder, you are a brahmachari, or you are a sannyasi, what activities you can do and you cannot do. So all these were given by Srila Prabhupada, who was a guru. So similarly, we need to have a living guru to guide us.
Okay.
So this is Acharya Parampara coming from Krishna till present date. So this is the continuous link, Parampara link. So when you are following a person in that Parampara, then you are in the safe hand.
So whom should we follow and whom do you recommend? I mean, where will we get that person?
Right. So this is actually something which is revealed by Krishna himself. So you sincerely pray to Krishna and start following the process, Krishna conscious process. I'm not sure how many rounds of chanting you are doing, or you are yet to begin your chanting.
No, I don't chant.
Sorry?
I don't chant.
Right.
Guruji.
So you are a beginner. You are a beginner, right? Never mind. So you start chanting. So when you are chanting this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, minimum 108 times.
Okay.
108 is a very auspicious number.
Okay.
It represents 108 Upanishads, 108 gopis of Krishna. So that's why we chant 108 times. So you start chanting 108 times and start reading Bhagavad Gita as it is. Definitely Krishna will guide you. He will connect you to a proper guru, bona fide guru.
Okay, Guruji.
In the
Thank you.
as a follower of Srila Prabhupada, there are many gurus available.
Okay.
So Krishna will guide you and get you connected to proper Guru if you are sincere.
Okay, Guru. Thank you.
Yeah. So we will also have subsequent classes more focused on Bhagavad Gita. So that will give you more clarity on akarma also.
Okay, Guru. Thank you.
Thank you. And by the way, are you in Chennai or somewhere else?
Me, Guruji?
Yeah.
I'm in Salem, Tamil Nadu.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks, pretty much.
Thank you. Thank you, Guru.
Asha Kumari. Asha Kumari Mataji. Leela Shakti.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Prabhuji. Prabhuji, actually நீங்க அகர்மா வந்து பகவானுக்கு பண்றது அப்படின்னு சொல்றீங்க. அப்போ இப்ப நம்ம டிவோட்டிஸ் பண்றோம், ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் டிவோட்டிஸ்க்கு வந்து அவங்களுக்கு மணி தேவும் போது மணி கொடுக்குறோம், சம்திங் ஃபுட் வேணும் போது அவங்களுக்கு பிரசாதம் கொடுக்குறோம். இது வந்து டிவோட்டிஸ் கேட்கிறேன். அப்போ வந்து அது டிவோஷனல் தானே போகும். ஸோ அதுலயும் ஐ மீன் பயஸ் ஆக்டிவிட்டி இருக்காது தானே பிரபு?
Yeah. So the question is, when you are giving money or you are feeding a Vaishnava, is it a akarma or is it a good karma? So that is the question. Yeah. So whether it is service to the Supreme Lord or his devotees, both are same. So both are akarmas.
Sometimes if a devotee like without their knowledge, அவங்களுக்கு தெரியாமலே அவங்க சம்திங் யூஸ் பண்ணா கூடாத இடத்துல யூஸ் பண்ணா அப்பவும் கொடுத்தவங்களுக்கு அதுல பங்கு இருக்கா பிரபுஜி?
If your intention is good and you take proper guidance from an authority and then give, then you are in the safe zone. Rather, if you take your own decision and think that a person is a devotee and give it in the wrong hand, then it will not give you a pious result, or it will not give you a karma result.
No, நான் நினைக்கிறது வந்து
That is what I am saying. You need to take guidance, is what I am saying.
They should know about it.
Yes.
Oh,
Thank you.
Okay, so I think we have exceeded the time. Thank you so much for joining. We will meet you again tomorrow at 8 o'clock with another topic for discussion. Till then, Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Jai Shri
Hare
Prabhupada.
Krishna.
Stand up.